So I was really busy yesterday, didn't even have time to turn my PC on. And today I log on to a bombardment of messages telling me to look at the mayor candidates. And supposedly it's DANTE V2. So that's a pretty scary prospect. Alright, so I guess this is what people are talking about. Aura. Candidate. Do we have any more information? It's time we put the people first. No more false promises, no more slacking, no more monarchs. Alright, what else? Why should a few have it all when we can share the load? Okay, yeah, so communism. Dante made you obey, I'll make you thrive. What happened to the Soviet Union? No more greed, no more chaos, only fair progress for all. Okay, cool. Under Dante, you work for him. Under me, you'll work for each other. Let's make Skyblock fair again. Okay, is this a communist Trump? And unsurprisingly, yeah, Aura has 90% of the votes, with over 1 million people voting. That's crazy. I mean, that's a shame in a sense, because it's 3-perk Marina, and I'd love a 3-perk Marina right now. So it's like we've gone from the dictator of all evil to some sort of cult communist enjoyer. What I will say is this skin is not Aura. Well, this skin is miserable. They not have chose a better skin. Or something with a bit of colour. I mean, Dante was all black and white, and so is this geezer. Anyway, I think it's time that we make some actual proper comparisons between Dante and Aura. But just before we do, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. If you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so. You should join the Discord server. It's linked in the description of this video. We offer slayers and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry, make some coins, make sure to join. Now, I think it'd be interesting if we actually take a look at what Mayor Dante's perks were, then we can actually go ahead and compare them to what seems to be the perks of Mayor Aura. So before being elected, Dante listed the 3 following perks, which is interesting because in Skyblock we don't have any perks listed for Aura. Anyway, those 3 initial perks were Order, Establish Order, Security, Strengthen Security, Freedom, Freedom from Fear. And these were the conditions that Dante actually operated under. Economy Restoration, double AH and Bazaar tax, 10% coins tax on shops, 5 coins per minute for chatting, 2 coins toll on travelling between islands. Increased security. Hired goons to protect official buildings. What a champion. Cancelled hazardous events. Decreased sunlight to prevent sunburn. Honestly, this is not bad. And of course, you could, at that point, obtain the Happy Mask, which is basically just a symbol of support for Dante, which is a pretty cool collectible item. And also the Dante Talisman, which is, of course, no longer obtainable in this form. So it'll be interesting to see with Aura if we'll get like some sort of memorabilia like the Happy Mask equivalent and also an accessory. That would be quite cool. Now, something else that's interesting, during the Dante fight, the player count of Hypixel peaked at 216,000 and Skyblock peaked at 131,000, a world record. Now, I assume Aura is a one-off sort of mayor just like Dante. And if that's the case, it wouldn't be crazy to assume that there will be some sort of penultimate event. I wonder if we see Skyblock's player count reach highs that are anywhere near this. I'd be very surprised if it does, but it'd be really cool to see. Okay, up next, we can have a gander and see what, we're sort of thinking that Mayor Aurora's perks are going to be. This might not be completely accurate because it's not been confirmed yet. So the first perk that we see here is the perk Fundraising. Increased taxes and costs across the world. Increased taxes. Kind of sounds like Dante to me. Although Dante was doing it for his own personal gain, and I guess Aura is doing it for the greater good of communism. Interesting. Minion Union. Minions work 50% slower. I assume. Okay, cool. Is it cool though? I mean, minions are not a massive part of the game. Okay, fine, whatever. Universal income. All of the coins raised during fundraising are equally distributed every hour. Do we have to stand outside the job center to apply for this, or how does this work? Now, that's a crazy perk. That's a crazy perk, because there's going to definitely be some freeloaders that are going to be getting a ton of coins. But I guess that's just how communism works, and why it ultimately just doesn't work. Work better. RNG is vastly improved across the world. Okay, well, that will be interesting to see. People just dropping Warden Hearts and Judgment Calls left, right, and center. Maybe dies as well. Work harder. Monsters deal 10% more damage and have 10% more HP. It's not going to be anything crazy, I would assume, for most people, but cool. Work smarter. Gain a 50% skill EXP boost. So at least, unlike Dante, there are some benefits to this. So if these perks are to be the actual perks that Aura receives, then I've deduced a few things and come up with a few strategies. First of all, if RNG is vastly improved across the board, get yourself doing some Slayers and definitely don't sell anything that you get, otherwise your money's going to be redistributed. Also, if you like the idea of the mayor but can't be bothered to play the game, then just log on and just claim your share of the income that everybody gains. Oh, and of course, 50% extra skill XP. On top of the 30% global bonus, this might be one of the best times to level any skill that you don't already have leveled to max. Now, to be completely honest, regardless of Aura's perks, this just creates hype for the game. And this is exactly what Hypixel needed to do. This is good. Think back to the glory days. Dante pulled in the most numbers that Hypixel Skyblock has ever seen. The most numbers that Hypixel have ever seen on the server. I'm not saying it's going to reach those heights, because back then it was different. I'm pretty sure it was in the midst of COVID when nobody had anything better to do other than run around in circles in the hub in Skyblock. But this sort of event is just what Hypixel needed to do for a while. I think it should be really cool, and I'm sure there's probably going to be more added to this, because this is, I mean, we can vote for Aura, right? We don't know the stats, we don't know any real other conditions. Other than that, this should just be a pretty fun, cool time. I kind of feel sorry for Scorpius. There'll be some people out there that were really excited for Scorpius, and he's been a little bit overshadowed by the arrival of this Aura geezer. This is quite interesting. Aura is normally an NPC located in Aura's lab on the Crimson Isles. They used to talk to the player about their evil plan. Now they reside at the election room as a candidate for mayor. Now what's funny is people are kind of branding Aura as this, like, almost like you've got Dante as the devil on your shoulder and Aura's on the other side, you know, telling you the right things to do. Which is crazy considering, like, communist, and it's quite clear they've been sort of scheming up an evil plan in the past. Be interesting to actually find Aura's lab in the Crimson Isles and see what's going on now. Okay, well, here we are. I don't know if Aura was previously... I don't know where they were previously stood. I assume... maybe as soon as you walk in, like here? There's no one here now, though. I wonder what happened there. But yeah, this is... I mean, there's not really much else to it. This is where Aura previously was. But there's not much going on here anymore by the looks of it. Looks like they were pretty obsessed with iron golem heads for whatever reason. I don't know if that actually has a reason, or... you know, maybe it's just random decoration. I really am not sure. It looks like maybe there's supposed to be some sort of trap here. There's like dispensers. I don't really know. It's just kind of interesting. But from what I gather, they liked iron golem heads. They probably liked alchemy, and they, I guess, nether warts too. But maybe that's just because we're in the Crimson Isles. Oh, and they were also guarding a fairy soul. I'd like to know what you guys think of this in the comments, because you can analyze it, but at the end of the day, I think it's just going to be something fun, reminiscent, I guess, maybe of Dante. And overall, I think it should just be good for the engagement of Skyblock. And at least unlike Dante, there are some genuine perks, like 50% extra skill XP is great. But the communism part, maybe not so great. Anyway, that's all for today. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.